Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about season 5, episode 4, titled It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. Air date January 22nd, 2008, and the synopsis is
Brooke has her opening of the Clothes Over Bros boutique. Everyone goes, including Victoria. Lucas and Peyton cause friction then at the opening.
okay. It started again the same way.
Mm.
Oh my god. For again, 2-3 minutes, it's telling what everyone's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting tired of it. It's just enough. Again, it's not like there was each episode is jam packed where we need to remember what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just every time episodes start like this, where it's minutes of what happened, they always just seem like filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you're filling the whole 43 minutes.
Right.
And it should just be 43 minutes of the show, new things happening, not 2-3 minutes of the old stuff that we just saw. Also, it's not like it's mid-season where we need to remember what happened first couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's every episode now what happened the episode before. But if there's not a lot happening, do we really need to rehash it?
Right.
So, I don't know. These episodes I feel like that's why there's not much. Maybe that's why I really don't like season 5 is because it doesn't really seem like there's too much in season 5 happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're still sort of, I don't know, these few episodes probably could have been done in the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We're into episode 4 and it's oh my gosh, we're still here.
Right.
So maybe that's just because it's dragging so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not filling the episodes with drama.
Right.
Or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of the same old, same old. It's okay, it's time we start finishing some storylines and adding some more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of it's just dragging. And it's just hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just didn't again. And again, I think it would have been okay if it was 15-20 seconds of showing us clips.
Right.
But it was minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time we get done with that, then it's 40 minutes left. It's this is where we're starting.
Mm-hmm.
The 40 minutes left. So yeah, it was annoying, but the show goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we start off with Brooke doing the dishes when Peyton walks in, saying, how that you're going to deal with Victoria. And, maybe.
Is this the next day?
Yeah, it should be.
Because they're very settled in this new home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, again, she just signed the lease on the house yesterday. She just signed the lease on Karen's Cafe or whatever, 2 days ago, and she's opening up the store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Shouldn't have been next episode is store opening.
Maybe, yeah.
Not the day after or the episode after.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not I don't know, just a little more realistic if it was next episode.
Right.
Because there could still be friction between Victoria and Brooke in this episode and then having the grand opening next episode.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a little more realistic.
Yeah. I mean, there still is in this one with them, so.
No, but I'm just saying time-wise of how it opens is not.
Mm. Yeah.
That's all.
Right. So Payne's, all in if Brooke wants to bury Victoria, basically. And Brooke says maybe to that, but, doesn't she have a band to turn into rock stars? And Payne says, it's their first day in the studio. So she does have things to do before that. So she just tells Brooke she's doing great. And then she leaves. And then Lucas is at home looking at postcards his mom sent him while Payne goes to visit her mom's grave. And then at the Scotts, Nathan and Jamie are arm wrestling. And Nathan lets Jamie win, of course. And then Jamie asks if they can play ball, and Haley tells him maybe later. And Jamie just really wants to play and uses like an orange and dunks it into his cereal bowl, making a mess. So Haley says, they have to stop leaving Jamie with skills. And then Carrie tells Jamie it's time for a bath while Haley cleans up the mess he made. And then Haley asks Nathan how, he's doing. He says he's trying. There's good days and bad days. But it's a good thing they don't have to worry about money right now, but he has to figure out what he's going to do.
Haley kind of seemed a little off on this episode when it came to Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like in the scene she was just like annoyed with him.
Mm.
Like I was just like, he's changing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you wanted. I don't know, just she was given just like looks and stuff, and I'm like, it just wasn't like happy like you would. I feel like you would be if your husband was changing for the better.
Mm-hmm.
It was just sort of just. I'm like, okay, like I don't know, just looks that she was given. I just was like, okay, she's not really like thrilled about Nathan.
Well, it just seems like she has a lot on her mind, like Quentin. So
Okay, but your marriage is not important at all.
she's just distracted with Quentin and everything. Yeah.
Okay, but like forget him for a second. Like your husband is changing. He's starting to stand on his own. And I don't know. It's just she just annoyed me in this episode of like how she kind of just disregarded him a little.
I didn't see it that way.
Well, especially in the scene. I was just like, I just didn't see like how she really liked him in the episode or in the scene. Oh, just looks she was given. That's all.
Well, she tells Nathan about Quentin and everything.
Yeah, and she wants him to help him and talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because obviously he is just like Quentin was.
Yeah.
Or is.
Right. So Nathan says he'll just think about it. And then, asks if he's bringing back the mullet or what, because his hair is still super long. And then Mouth is laying in bed at his place, telling Alice, she's really hot when she's not yelling at him about how he sucks. And then she just tells him that she'll see him at work and kissing his cheek and telling him not to be late. So
Then Stills walks in though.
Yeah. And he already knows what happened.
Well, and the fact that she's already staying the night at his place.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fast.
Right.
It's kind of like she just went home with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right. So what was it yesterday? She fired you and now.
Right.
That was the other thing. It was like, okay, don't be late. And it's like, okay. Like he still has his job. Okay.
Yeah, she just must have rehired him in between that time.
Yeah, I'm like, you fired him. So then you guys slept together. And then now it's don't be late. It's like, oh, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't get why he'd want to go work with her.
Right.
That was just annoying too. I'm like, stand up for yourself and not go back to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Mouth acts like he doesn't know what Skills is talking about, and Skills tells him he needs to ask for a raise. And then Brooke is at her store freaking out about the lights not working when they open tomorrow. And that's when Victoria walks up saying she doesn't see luggage, as in she's not going to go back to New York with her. And then she looks around the place and sees why she disappeared from her work, her life, and her family for a half-built shop in the middle of a half-dead town.
Yeah, and she said, don't say it's Tree Hill. And Victoria goes, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, maybe not to you because you left way before Brooke did.
Yeah, like 15 years ago or something.
Like, no. What? 15?
Well, it just seems like she hasn't been there since Brooke was at least 15 or 14, it seems like.
Yeah, well, Remember, she was 16 when her dad was moving or something. So, because it was their junior year.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Just we never saw them, so I forgot they were even there to begin with.
Yeah. So, so it's been 5 years since she's lived there, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Brooke tells Victoria no, she's not going to leave, and she says for the last couple of years she's told her what to do, and everything, and she let her because she was the brains behind the whole operation. And Victoria says,
the company didn't suffer.
Mm.
And then Brooke says how she was grateful and everything, which is true. Like, Brooke, I guess, never really thanked Victoria for getting the company going because, someone had to financially support it. Someone had to do the work financially and business wise, which was Victoria,
Mm-hmm.
that Brooke didn't really realize.
Right.
It's just kind of like when she started on the website, she's like, oh, yay, look at, but it's like, oh no. Then remember, she's like, oh, I actually have to, I don't have any dresses and this and that. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
who starts a website and doesn't have clothes ready?
Right.
Like that kind of thing. It was like, she just has like one vision and that's it, where it's like, no, you actually have to think about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Victoria is that.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't really recognize that because Brooke does the clothing side and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Brooke
there's
doesn't.
more, and there's more to it than just that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brooke doesn't seem to plan ahead before she takes steps. So.
Yeah, and then that's where Victoria gets her by saying like about like the opening and how also you would know like by dealing with the inventory and catering and publicity, like you've got that taken care of. And she's like, of course. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously she's not, because she's like, oh wait, what? Like there's more to do than just get this ready. And it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um
Yes. So then
yeah.
she calls Millicent for help right away.
Yep.
And then Nathan goes to see Quentin at the river court. And, Quentin's still acting like he's the best of them all, telling Nathan, is he checking out the next big thing? And Nathan says, even that crossover wouldn't work in the NBA or college, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but then Quentin goes further into trying to hurt Nathan by talking about, like the bookies and the point shaving and just everything. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when Nathan's like, that was a long time ago. I'm like, Nathan, that was 4 years ago.
Right.
Like, I'm like, and then for viewer wise, it was just a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, Nathan, it was 4 years ago. It wasn't like it was 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, you might want to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then especially because you're in this small town, people are going to hold on to it a whole lot longer than if you were in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a bigger city, more things are happening. So people can kind of forget that.
Right.
But they're not going to forget it if it's in a small town. They're going to talk about it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was just kind of like, okay, like I get you want to forget it, but they're not going to. Just like when Dan was in the hospital or when he was doing his therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and that guy was like talking about his college years, and Dan didn't want to talk about it. And it's like, again, and that was almost 20 years ago for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, it still comes back to haunt you.
Right. Yeah, so Quentin just says, people like them are misunderstood, and Nathan asks, is that why he dropped out of school? And Quentin tells Nathan he should be grateful. If he would have stuck around, he would have broken his record. And Nathan says maybe there's something they can do about that. And then at Lucas's, that Lucas's, they're making, him and Lindsay are making out. And then he tells her, why did she look so sexy right before she has to leave? Because she's leaving for New York for something work-wise. And she says she'll be back Sunday. So today's Friday, or no, Saturday then? No, what day is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Friday. I don't know. But Lucas asks what kind of trouble he could get into without her. And that's exactly when Lindsay opens the door and Payne's right there.
hmm
And then
And then
Lindsay
she said change of plans, and then she shuts the door on her.
Yeah.
But then she reopens it because she's leaving, and she was like, "That was a joke. Sorry." And it's like, but then this is where she
Messes up.
well, no, this is where she like goes in to on Peyton
Mm.
of just everything. Like she kind of like tells Peyton kind of like where she stands. Well, just how she was acting of like trying to be nice at first um of like telling her to go to Brooke's opening with Lucas. But then being like, well, you wouldn't like put a move on him. Like just I don't know, just how she was putting her place of like she's the girlfriend and Peyton is just sort of there. I don't know, I was like, okay, like we get it, Lindsay, you're dating him for the time being. It's like, you don't have to like use your words to put Peyton in her place when we already know where her place is. Way above you.
Right.
Clearly, because he wrote another book and it wasn't because of you. But why does she keep forcing these two together, though? I don't understand that either.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why
And then
I messed up here.
And then you get mad when they actually like each other. Maybe you shouldn't have done the things you keep doing. Like it's not her first time doing it, so I don't understand why she keeps doing it.
Right. And then at the gym, Nathan walks in and Skills tells him he's looking good. And Nathan asks how, Skills is doing. And Skills says everybody's expecting them to turn this thing around. So the pressure's on. And Nathan tells Skills if anybody can do it, it's him and Lucas. And Skills knows, but they're not miracle workers. And that's when Lucas walks in, calling Nathan little brother and tells him he looks great too.
I know. I love the little brother. I love, And then Nathan said he wanted to thank him for being there for Haley and Jamie, and he's all, "Don't worry about it" and stuff. And I mean, obviously because they're family, but I just love their brother moments, and I'm so glad we're finally getting it. And like Nathan's getting over himself and realizing like there's more to life than him going to the NBA. Because it is true. I mean, it always ends for everyone. So you have to figure out what's important to you. And it should be your family.
Right. So Lucas asks Nathan if he's there to teach the kids to win a championship. And Nathan says, yeah, he could, as an idea, put Quinn back in the team. And then that's when Lucas says to Nathan that Haley put him up to this. Nathan says that she has a thing for lost causes. And then he just watches Quinn play. That he watched Quinn play and he's really good.
Yeah, but then Lucas said that he doesn't have time to coach him or deal with his crap or teach him to play an unselfish game.
Yeah, and then like something Whitey would say.
Yeah, and then that's when Nathan's like, I'll do it and stuff. And then Lucas is like, you're gonna come to practice every day, 5 days a week. I'm like,
yeah.
Like he makes it sound like he's not trustworthy of like coming to practice. Yeah, like he's not gonna come to practice.
Right.
It was just funny. And Nathan's just like, yeah, that's what it takes. And it's like, okay. So I guess if Nathan doesn't show up on practice, then I guess Lucas can tell Quentin, well, sorry, your coach isn't here, so you gotta go.
Right. So Lucas says he'll just do it for him, not for Quentin. And then the band is in the recording studio and Payne tells them they sound really good. And then, was trying to tell Jason to do this, play it slower. But Jason, says no to that because it's his song. So he wants to play it the way he wants to.
So I have a question about this studio. This studio looks like it's the main studio in the record label. Like in Peyton.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought before that's where they were in that recording booth.
No, but I'm saying she does not have a recording studio yet.
Yeah,
All
so
she
I thought
had was
they.
a big opening, and
Mm,
what? And then now all of a sudden it's here. The
yeah, I
next
thought.
day she has a
Mm,
studio.
yeah, I just thought they just like sped up things and made her already have it like after really quick or something like Brooke. They just didn't
Well,
show it.
you would think that, but it was just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it would have been nice if they would have said, "Oh, 2 weeks later," but they didn't. It's like the next day,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't make any sense if it's just the next day.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, it just doesn't make any sense. That's why I just kind of wish they would have sped it up as 2, 3 weeks later instead of now because it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Haley gets home and apologizes for being late, and Jamie greets her. And then, tells Carrie she has a lot of homework to grade and she just has a couple more errands to run. And then
And
she'll
it
take
it was
Jamie.
it was weird that Carrie said she already did them.
Yeah, her to-do list. Yeah.
Like, you're the nanny.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your job description to do the
Chores or errands, whatever.
the homeowner's thing, like chores. I don't
Mm,
understand.
right.
Like, again, she's mixing it too much and she's crossing every boundary. And here it is again. Like, yes, does it? And yes, actually, it does have. I was about to say, does it really have to do with stealing the husband? But it's like she is interfering with it because she got his prescriptions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, okay.
Yep.
Also, how did she get his prescriptions?
Well, all you have to do is know their birthday. So,
But doesn't she have to show ID because she's not his wife?
nope.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
But
Like I
also,
said.
I was also thinking too, like, she could be messing with those pills. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we know that she's crazy. Like if she was just a normal person, it wouldn't cross my mind. But we know she's not normal. So I'm like, how do we know she's not messing with the pills?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Right.
And switching them to like make him want hers. I don't know, just something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she even baked the cookies for Jamie's play date with Chuck.
And
So.
then it was bad on Haley to once again act like it doesn't make her in a good light as a good mom because
Mm-hmm.
like once again she makes a mistake by saying, "Oh, I totally forgot."
Mm-hmm.
Because she did it before. There was something else and it just like slipped her mind. Like last episode or something. I don't know. It's not the first time, and I know it's probably not going to be the last time that it slips her mind. And I get it, it happens, but it just doesn't look good to the nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, in everyday world, yes, it makes sense, but not when it comes to this one.
Right.
Because it makes it look like Nene Carey is up to date with Jamie's life, and mommy isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look good. And so, yeah, it wasn't a good slip up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Carrie even takes Jamie to his play date too. And then at Brooke's store, she tells some workers to pick up the pace with the opening being so close now. And that's when Victoria returns. And, Brooke tells her that she thought she was going to disown her this morning. But Victoria tells Brooke she just wants what's best for her. And someday she'll realize that.
That's funny.
And even offers to help Brooke with the store.
And then she said, "What is that?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, that's my assistant, Millicent."
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she said, "What is that?"
Right. Yeah, you
Like,
think she was talking about the mannequin or something.
right, not like who? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
she's a person?
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, people should have been like, "What is that?" when Victoria
Mm-hmm.
walked in.
Right.
Um, and then then she criticizes what she dresses like.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brooke tells her like, to stop it and stuff. And then it was funny because she said, like basically how you can help is do inventory with her.
Right.
And oh my God. But then of course Victoria's idea is not, hanging out with Millicent. Instead, it's to boss her around by telling her to get to call the New York office and bring the basically expensive line in because she's obviously trying to sabotage Brooke.
Right.
Like we don't realize she's trying to in this moment, but of course, in the end, it was just to sabotage her.
Right. So then Haley and Peyton are sitting by the pool while Nathan and Jamie are in the water, or at least Nathan is, for his physical therapy, I guess. And Peyton tells Haley, she doesn't know, someone who can write such, soulful songs can be such a dick. And Haley says, at least the band sounds good. And Peyton says, something's not right. They have magic. But then tells Haley she knows she's swamped, but can she borrow her for 2 hours? And Nathan tells her to go. Haley's not sure, though. She has a lot to do. But Nathan says, too bad they don't have somebody to take care of that for them. So already like having Carrie, again, basically do everything so Haley can do, what she needs to do or wants to do,
It's what it's wants to do, not needs to do.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And that's what annoys me. But also the fact that she said, okay, and here's again, boundaries crossing. Like, what in the hell is Nanny Carrie's job description? Because Haley said, I've got housework to do.
Yeah.
Nathan says that's what the nanny is for. No, it's not. Doesn't Nathan know what a nanny is supposed to do? It's supposed to take care of the child.
Right,
It is
not be a maid.
Yes, exactly. She's not there to do both. If she's there to do both, then she should be getting paid for both. I'm just saying. But I'm sure she's only getting paid to be the nanny.
Yeah.
And again, you're just crossing all these boundaries because it's not her job description is to take care of you people. It is to take care of the child. And that is it. And yeah, so to do housework is not her job.
Right.
So yeah, that annoyed me because I was like, seriously. Also, she's not seen Jamie. And she is going to go to the studio. So again, Jamie is no longer your priority. So it kind of seems like it switched. It seems like Nathan didn't really give a crap when he was going through his thing with Jamie. Like, he's sort of there. He's not like spending time with him. Here it's switching. Nathan now has time to spend with him. And Haley is like, nah, I got things to do. And it's like, they're switching. Like now Jamie is no longer Haley's priority.
Right.
Where he once was. And I don't like it. Like, why can't he just be both of their priority?
Right.
Like, here's the thing. They only have one kid. And they can't even devote their time to him.
Right.
I mean, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
And again, well, we have a nanny. The nanny is not the parent.
Right.
Also, I'm not going to lie. I don't really, I've never really met a teacher, Cynthia, that has a nanny.
Right.
What teacher has a nanny?
I don't know, someone married to someone who has a really high paying job.
Well, if that's the case, they probably wouldn't be working.
Well, she probably wouldn't, at least. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just like a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
No. Again, okay. And I'm sorry, but you go home basically when the kids go home.
Right.
Okay, that's it. You then don't need a babysitter after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why she needs a nanny all day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it whatsoever why Haley needs a nanny. I really don't understand. It does not make it good. It's not a good look for them. Again, because what does Nathan do all day? It doesn't make a good look for them. And it also doesn't make a good look that they're what are they trying to promote? Like teachers have money?
Mm-hmm.
Like teachers can do this. Like, no, most teachers cannot get a nanny.
Right.
Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't like how they're portraying it, but also at the same time, what does Haley need a nanny for?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
if she's gonna go if she's gonna go do this with Peyton, why can't Nathan watch his own son?
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand this. I could see if Nathan was working, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not working. So I don't know why he needs a nanny.
Right. I don't know. Maybe they could have had Carrie be a nurse that came in to help with Nathan, and that's how she like got her way into their lives or something like that.
Yep. Not this. Because again, I don't understand what she needs a nanny for.
Right. Yeah. Because nurses do occasionally do things around the house. So
Yeah,
maybe
because
they can't.
if it's not safe for them, they'll clean something up because they need to move around or work, in this area.
Yeah, and the patient can't do stuff. So
Right. So they'll move things around or, they may do the dishes because the person can't do it. Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't like that either because I'm like, but I don't understand what she needs a nanny for.
Right.
You have a very capable husband,
Mm-hmm.
the father of this child.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand. Also, the old Nathan and Haley. I could not have seen getting a nanny.
Right.
Could you?
No.
I I'm sorry, but like it's for like people that have money. But also those stories aren't usually good. Usually it's the nanny takes care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's showing this episode that Jamie is more comfortable with the nanny than he is with mommy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good light.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know what the nanny does.
Right.
I can't with the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't realize how irritating it was when I first watched it
Mm.
until I watched it now. I think it's because if like when I watched it, I watched episode after episode. But I think now that we're actually talking about it and going just episode to episode,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's actually bothering me.
Right.
Then when you just sit there and you just binge watch it,
Mm-hmm.
because when you binge watch it, the next episode or the next day you can be 10 episodes in, so you already forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually sit and talk about it, so it hits differently now,
Right.
and it makes me cringe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also makes me cringe because I worked with teachers. They didn't have that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, I still just want to know what the nanny does.
Right.
So that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Quentin is called into Lucas's office, and Quentin still isn't taking things serious, so he's like making himself all comfortable with his feet on the desk and everything.
And Lucas is just so annoying. He's like, "Get
Mm-hmm.
your feet off my desk."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Quentin thinks this is Lucas's way of telling him he wants him back, and needs a star player to make it happen, with the wins, and he guesses he can help him out. And Lucas, gives it to him straight, saying, he's the coach. And, Quentin does what he says. And, he doesn't ask him twice. And
Can I just say that I love Lucas in this role?
mm-hmm,
It's so good.
yeah. So Lucas tells Quentin that he's building a team and he wants Quentin to play his part and does what he says or else he's gone. And Quentin says they both know he's the best shooting guard, in the state. So why don't they just cut the crap? He's not going to play zone defense or play defense at all. And basically telling Lucas what he wants to do.
And then when he said that when we win, I might even let you take the credit.
Mm-hmm.
Who says that to the coach?
Right.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And then tells Lucas he can call him Q. And that's just how it's going to go. just so they're clear, giving Lucas his words, giving Lucas his own words back. And then back at the studio, Haley tells Payne that, the band's good and if she can speak to them. So Payne tells her to go, but watch out for Jason because he's Jason. And then the recording booth, Haley tells Jason they sound amazing. The hook's really good, but she thinks it's repetitive. So she starts playing with the piano, messing around, and Mia then copies her. But just like to Peyton, Jason tells Haley that, they're going to do it his way. And that's when Peyton walks in saying, Haley basically has the talent and experience, so he might want to listen to her. And, Jason's just insulting both of them. And Haley apologizes and, says she didn't mean to step on him creatively.
Okay, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton says that Haley had a major record deal,
Mm-hmm.
a Billboard hit, and
Mm-hmm.
a sold-out national tour.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that Michelle Branch's tour? Right. No, who was it? I'm sorry, I forgot. Who was it again?
It was the Records, but
I was asking who was a tour that she went with again?
Yeah, the Records with Michelle Branch and
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was Michelle. I can remember, yeah. So it
I,
wasn't her tour, it was Michelle's.
I'm just so confused. I'm like, are we seriously talking about just that tour? That's the national tour that we're talking about?
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Like, that wasn't her tour. She was the opening act, so.
Or barely the opening act.
Yeah, because Chris was there.
Chris was basically the one.
Mm-hmm.
And she just hopped on last minute. Like, the tour was already started.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she says a Billboard hit. What in the hell was the Billboard hit, first of all?
Probably the song she had with Chris.
Oh my God. So it all is about Chris.
Mm-hmm. And Michelle, yeah.
And then a major record deal.
I mean, she could have, but they never mentioned that. And she would have had to turn it down because she wanted to be home with Nathan. So it's not like she made a whole record or anything. So, yeah, they just exaggerated that all.
Because here's my opinion, but I feel like my opinion is true. And I feel like they acted like this is what happened in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But little do they realize that if she went on tour and she had a record that came out,
Mm-hmm.
she would not have been able to finish college in 4 years.
Right.
Like, how many celebrities work and then they finish?
Right.
Like Carrie Underwood, she was in her senior year of college and she did American Idol. After that, she finished her degree.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't finish it while she was doing American Idol.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, is she finished it after. So if that's the case, that Haley finished, like Haley went on tour, she would not have finished college in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? So
Right.
she would not have had a record deal because, again, she would not have finished college within the 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do. Or I don't want to say it takes 4 years, because sometimes you go for your masters and stuff. So I don't want to say it only takes 4, because what if it takes longer?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. But anyway, I was like, no, you would not have went on tour. You would not have done a record if you were in college for 4 years.
Right.
It just wouldn't happen. I'm sorry. But that's how they're making it sound like, is she did this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know where she did a record.
Right.
She did one song without Chris.
Mm-hmm.
That was Halo.
Yeah.
That was it. So, I don't know. So I just wanted to pinpoint what Peyton said to make it really sound really good, but it actually didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her, and also, she was acting like how proud she was. I'm like, Peyton, you were not proud of Haley back then.
Right.
I also want to pinpoint that out too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Payne says, Haley has done all that while he's just the lead singer of a band that plays for free beer and dive bars.
And then when she said you could benefit from that,
Mm-hmm.
you do realize when she made both of those songs. She sang, or who was there? Chris Keller.
Mm-hmm.
Haley has Chris to thank.
Right.
And like, I'm sorry, but she does.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says you can benefit from her, huh?
Right.
Like, she doesn't know the ins and outs totally
Mm-hmm.
because Chris was behind it.
Right.
Chris knew what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And she bounced a lot of ideas off of
Mm-hmm.
Chris
Right.
to make it perfect. So I don't understand why we're going to make it act like she did all this by
Mm-hmm.
herself.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm. So Jason just says he's going to be taking a smoke break and walks out, even after Payne tells him that he only has 1 hour left in the studio. And then at Mouth's workplace, the guy walks into the room saying, he saw him walk out of Alice's office and, basically don't let her get to him. Alice hates everybody. And Mouth says, she really likes calling the shots. And then the guy says, she's lucky she's so hot. And then he, says he wishes that someone would stand up to her someday. So I guess that's the only reason why they're still working there is because she's so hot. Is that what he meant?
Sounds like it.
Which shouldn't be the reason, but back in the studio, Payne tells Haley, she's sorry about Jason, and Haley says it's okay. She's worked with self-centered musicians before, and does Chris Keller ring a bell? And Payne says only his own. So then Haley tells Payne if she's open to it, she'd like to work with the band. Yeah, so Payne's excited about Haley wanting to produce the record. And, but isn't she kind of busy? And she says she was a few days ago, but then Carrie came around and now she had time to think, with her being so young and, getting married, having Jamie and all that. Feels like Sherry lived her life, but she's starting out like everybody else. And she's more than just a wife and mother and teacher. So she can achieve something, kind of her, something of her own that she loves.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if she's at school all day,
Mm-hmm.
so she's gonna go to the studio after work.
Probably, yeah.
What's Peyton doing all day then?
I don't know.
Does Peyton and Mia show up when Haley shows up?
I don't know.
Because like later on, Haley is in the studio with Mia, and I'm like, either you didn't go to school to work that day,
Mm-hmm.
or these two show up when you show up.
Yeah, I'm sure that sometimes they do it that on the weekend as well. But yeah,
Because
it's
I'm
weird.
like, how do you have time? And what are they just waiting around for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you're the main star?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was my question. I'm like, because you would think that they'd be in studio all day,
Mm-hmm.
where Peyton and Mia would be working together, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like Haley's also there working with her, and I'm like, all day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You do realize she works apparently.
Mm-hmm. And then we don't see it, but Brooke basically asks help from everybody to help with the store before opening. And she gets some pizza, but tells them to not get food on the clothes. Even Millicent will be giving out wipes.
Oh, also about the Haley thing, you do realize she said she was 21.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like 22 at least, maybe even close to 23 at this point.
Yeah, because Brooke was 18, remember?
Yeah.
4.5 years ago. She's
Mm-hmm.
going to be close to 23.
Right. Yeah.
Remember in season 1, we heard how they were 17. Well, you can't be 17 for 5 years and then do a 4-year jump and then now be 21 still.
Right. Yeah.
It is okay, because here's the thing. It took her, takes you 9 months
Mm-hmm.
when you're pregnant. It's closer to like 10.
Yeah.
But when you actually do the math.
Mm-hmm.
So takes that long. And then it's been 4.5 years. So it's been like 5.5 years since you basically got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You were how old when you got married? Like when you do the math, it doesn't make sense if you were 21.
Right.
So you were 15 when you met as juniors and you got married. You had the falling out. Like, just ever. None of that makes any sense then if you were 21 right now.
I thought they were 16 when they met.
No. I mean, if they were close to 17 because, again, it was middle of the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people were starting to turn 17 that year.
I just thought Brooke was the oldest. That's why she was, 18 and everybody was still maybe 17 when they graduated.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that Lucas's birthday was in like January
Mm.
because at prom the year before, Karen was pregnant.
Right.
So his birthday's around that time. So he'd be one of the oldest ones. We just never hear his birthday. And Brooks, remember, was in March. So she wouldn't be the oldest one. It'd be Lucas.
Mm.
But yeah, so he definitely, if it's basketball season, Lucas definitely should be 23. I'm sorry.
Mm.
But he's not because apparently they're all 21.
Right.
Nope, don't make sense. I'm sorry, but if you're going to do a jump, don't use an age then. Just say our early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been very easy and I wouldn't have to talk about it if you would have just said early 20s.
Right.
I'm sorry, math to me, it has to add up and it don't add up.
Mm-hmm. So Brooke tells everybody, the break's over in 20 minutes, but she loves them all.
Yeah, I'll get you pizza. It's going to be great. And I appreciate you, but get back to work in 20 minutes. It's like, what? Like they have been working night and day for the past couple days since you bought it 2 days ago. They have done a hell of a lot in a couple days.
Well, I think
Because
they were there just that same day for some hours.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's a lot. Like, I don't even know how she even got this with like permits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she should be grateful that they're still there.
Right. So Lucas tells Payne, it's good to see that success and fame hasn't gone to Brooke's head.
Mhm.
And Payne tells him he hasn't seen her at cheer camp. But then Lucas asks, how's the band? And Payne said she thought it was going to be all good times and groovy tunes. Nobody warned her about the, obnoxious, self-righteous musicians.
Which is weird because, again, Chris Keller.
Right. And Lucas tells her, she's always been capable of a lot more than she's given herself credit for. And then Brooke asks, Victoria what she thinks of the store from, where they're at with it right now. And Victoria says, honestly, earlier in the afternoon, she didn't think it could be done, but somehow, she pulled it off and she should feel proud of herself. So Brooke tells her she's glad that she's there for the opening, and Victoria says she is too, even though Victoria's already setting her up for failure.
Well, and in just a couple hours, because it was just this afternoon that Victoria showed up there, and then tonight is opening, and they got all that done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just saying, they definitely pulled it off. Somehow there was a miracle.
Mm-hmm. So Payne tells Victoria now she thinks it's great that she's supporting Brooke's decision to stay in Tree Hill, and she knows it means a lot to her. And Victoria just says, of course, she supports her daughter, as if she's always been supportive. Yeah.
My God. But then she gets like Victoria just hates Peyton.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
No, but she just hates Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Because she said like the only reason why her daughter is there in the backwater town is because of her loser friend who couldn't cut it in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
What? I was like, oh my God. And then she said the only reason why she's there is to make sure that her daughter is not completely exploited by her, what was that?
Parasitic.
Yeah, so-called friend. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, she hates Peyton so much.
Yeah.
And the fact that she has no, like, she is just telling Peyton this. Like, she's
Mm-hmm.
not even hiding that she hates her. She just hates her.
Mm-hmm. And even tells her to get her act together before she ruins Brooke's life too.
Okay, but here's my thing. Like, if Victoria hated Peyton so much, why would she give Larry custody of Brooke in high school?
I don't know. Maybe because she would rather have Brooke be with Peyton than with her, basically.
No, but if being around Peyton is dragging Brooke, then why would you have allowed it in high school? Like when you all left to go to California, why didn't you drag Brooke kicking and screaming to get away from her loser friend? Do you know what I mean? Like
Well,
you would have set that up then of like getting her away. Like great opportunity to get Brooke away from Peyton.
well, that's because the close over bros doesn't exist yet. Victoria only cares about the company and not Brooke. So she sees, Peyton. If Peyton messes up Brooke, then Brooke's gonna mess up the company and basically be a domino effect. And Victoria doesn't want that, of course. She wants the company to keep going and have Brooke under her control. So
Yeah, so basically her just messing up now, not in high school. Like it
mhm.
didn't matter then.
No. Yeah, because Brooke wasn't useful to her.
Yeah.
She didn't have the business idea, or at least she didn't know about her clothing idea yet. So yeah, and then Mia is singing and playing the piano at Trek, and Haley walks in, but Mia doesn't know until she's there until she says something. And she tells Mia that she's really great, and Mia, says she did write the song, but they don't play it because Jason writes the band songs.
For Mia, like she was just so into just everything Jason, just everything just came out of her mouth. Jason did this, Jason. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of felt like she was,
Was
I don't want to say abuse, but it just felt like that kind of hold that he had on her.
Yeah, he's controlling
Like
everything.
she was so scared, it seemed like whenever Haley would ask a question, it was no, Jason, no, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just a normal conversation with somebody. She seemed very scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she doesn't do what he says, like her life's over.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has that hold and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, he probably threatened to kick her out of the band or something.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't like this at all because she seemed very scared to death
Mm-hmm.
in my mind. I'm like, this isn't good. Because
Mm-hmm.
even when he walks in, she's like, basically like, Haley, get away. Like, because she doesn't want Jason to know that like Haley talked to her and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She just seemed very scared of him.
Right. So then the Ravens practice is going on, and Quentin dunks a basket, tell Nathan that was for him. And Lucas tells Nathan, Quentin is all his.
It's funny.
Mm-hmm. And Nathan even asks if he can cut him from the team. And then back at Close Over Bros, Millicent tells Brooke she can't believe all her friends pulled an all-nighter to get the store ready for opening day. And Brooke knows, they're wonderful, but she bets Millicent has friends who would do the same for her. But Millicent admits that she doesn't have a lot of friends in New York, and Brooke says she didn't either. So then Brooke mentions that there's a lot more high items in the store than she remembers ordering. And Millicent tries to tell her that Victoria did that, but Victoria, of course, butts in, telling Millicent she asked her to fix the window display.
I highly doubt she asked her to do that.
Right, yeah. She was just trying to make, get Millicent away from Brooke. So she
Oh,
doesn't say what she did.
Oh, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, really? Like, you did
Mhm.
not ask. Like, I just kind of like wish Millicent would have just said that.
Mm-hmm.
Been like, I don't think you said that.
Right.
Because technically she's Brooke's employee,
Mm-hmm.
not Victoria's.
Right. But still tells Brooke that they should fire her.
And again, whose company is this? Like, if it's really if it's really Brooke's, she gets the final say of where the location is going to be for her store, what is going to be sold, who gets fired. I mean, all of this that Victoria is controlling, Brooke should actually have final say. But the problem with Brooke is she's never stood up to Victoria to tell her, this is the location we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're going to sell. She
Right.
doesn't say anything. That's why Victoria thinks and has rolled over her is because Brooke has never stood up to her.
Right.
That's why it always seems like Brooke's not the boss because she lets Victoria do all this. But
Mhm.
and then when Victoria still is bossing around, she's like, wait a minute. And it's like, but Brooke, you haven't in all 4 years. You haven't told her to
Yeah.
back off.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to keep rolling over you
Right.
and anyone you hire.
Mm-hmm. And then at the station, Alex complains to the guys about fixing the feed, and basically Mouth sticks up to her and tells her that's not their fault. So then Alice asks, for Mouth to meet her in her office. But of course, we know what that's really going to be about.
Yeah. She said, that was kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then starts making out with them.
Yep.
Ew.
Yep.
I am not a fan of this storyline
Yeah, me neither.
or her.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan goes to see Quentin at the River Court. And, Quinn's, again, being all, all about himself, like self-centered and being like, look who's there, my biggest fan, basically. And Nathan tells him that he needs to start listening to his coaches. And Quentin tells him that they need him more than, he needs them. And Nathan says the only reason why he's back in the team is because he vouched for him. And Q was like, I didn't remember asking for your help. And Nathan says that he gets it used to be like him, too. But it's like not going to help him win games. And more importantly, it's not going to help with his, relationships with other people. So Quentin says who needs other people when he has, this, and dunks another basketball or basket.
Well, and then Nathan was like, like if you listen to me, I'll get you the state championship. And then that's when Quentin's like, I gave you respect because you got game or had game. And then he talked about how you're just an old gimpy ass has been trying to tell
Mhm.
me what to do. I'm like, again, they're making it sound like it's been like 10 years
Right.
since Nathan has played. And I'm like, I don't know. It was only 4 months ago that he was supposed to be in the NBA. So I was like,
Right.
okay.
Mhm. And then Jason ends up walking to the studio late, so Haley tells him, they're not going to get anything done, and studio costs money. So Jason says, so it's not his money, which is, bad to say about anybody, any studio or any label,
Mm-hmm.
because usually, if you waste their money, they expect the artist to pay them back. So, and Haley tells him he's not, going to become a rock star by having a few decent melodies. He actually has to work hard.
I like when she said, you can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, I'm dismissing you from the band. You're no longer needed.
Yeah, and he's offended because it's like his band and everything.
Yeah. And they're like, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
then,
then
of course, but then like, Peyton's like, you cannot kick him out of the band.
he has the band.
Yeah. And then Brooke put a lot of money into this. This is where we do find out that Brooke did put money into that.
Yeah, finally.
And then it was weird because she said, I quit my job. It's like, Peyton, you quit your job before you even got this.
Right.
Like you didn't have a job. Like when you left, you weren't thinking about what's going to happen next. You just quit.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't thinking I'm going to start my own. That was Brooke and Lucas pushing you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would not have this. So when she said, I quit my job for this, it's like, no, you didn't. You quit your job because you quit your job.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what it really was, Peyton.
Right.
Like everything else she was saying was on point, but not that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she asks Peyton or Haley to produce the band, not break them up. And then they hear Jason yell "ha" from the other side of the glass.
Yeah, but then that's when Haley just talks about how Mia is
The magic.
yeah, and that, basically they should just keep her and get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Peyton really doesn't want to do it because, she has a lot riding on it, money.
Mm-hmm.
But then she goes along with it.
Right.
And then that's when she goes, Jason, you're fired.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says stupid label. It's like, whatever. But then, like, when he tells everyone to go, of course, like, everyone leaves but Mia. And, of course, Haley and Peyton are happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, Jason tells Mia that it's a big mistake and, acting like she made, the wrong call and, they're going to end up doing better than she is, even though we know that's not the case. We never hear about them again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and then Lucas picks up Peyton and tells her she looks amazing.
Why?
Yeah, he shouldn't have, yeah.
Why would you even say anything? Just go and get her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, and especially the word amazing.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever told Lindsay she looks amazing? I'm just saying.
Not that we've seen.
Yeah, probably not.
Mm-hmm. So, she asks if this is weird because it is. And he says, they had a relationship and they can't pretend they didn't. But before that, they were, good friends and there's no reason they can't have that again.
So I'm not going to lie. When he said, we had a relationship, it took me back to when Pacey kind of was like mocking it of like, we once dated. Like, it's like, oh my God. Because it also happened in season 5.
Mm-hmm. And that the store opening, Payne and Brooke are happy for the great turnout. And Lucas, says he can't blame people for showing up because there hasn't been a party there since ever. And Brooke asks Lucas where Lindsay is, and he just says she's in New York and he came there with Peyton.
And Brooke's like,
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan and Haley get there and she's looking at a dress and she asks if it's too sexy. And he says, it's not something respectable that a wife or mother would wear.
but she should get it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then that's where Brooke comes on and was like, the dress is on me. And Haley's like, no, I can't do that. And then that's when that's when she told Nathan, like, sorry, I don't have anything for you. And he's like, no, the dress is for me. I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's where Brooke was like, it's for taking good care of my godson. It's like,
Right.
that you just met.
Mm-hmm. And then elsewhere in the store, Victoria's complained about the press kits, whatever that is, and she rips it and tells Millicent, coming from her, she shouldn't be surprised. Basically trying to downgrade her, make her want to quit, since she can't have Brooke fire her. And that's where she meets Mouth Millicent, who, tells her not to let it get to her. He has a bitchy boss too. Like on his first day of work, she told him that she hated his face. And Millicent says that Victoria threw a snakeskin purse at her. And then he says his boss threw him against a wall. So I know, I'm like, when they were having sex, like when was that? When did that happen? But they kind of bond over, having bad bosses and they're all, laughing. And just then Alice shows up with a date. So of course Mouse distracted and tells Melissa he has to go. And then Lucas runs into Victoria. And, she says she knows him. He's one of her daughter's ill-chosen love interests.
Mm-hmm.
But Lucas tells her, she must be very proud of Brooke. He can't believe all she's accomplished. And Victoria says that, her taste has greatly improved. Thank God. And then excuses herself. And then Peyton walks up telling Lucas to not take it personally. Victoria, punches everybody verbally like that.
Yeah, and that was funny because he's like, I thought Brooke was being dramatic when she talked about her mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then Brooke walks up to tell Payne that she needs her. She has a gift for her to say thanks for helping her with everything. It's a dress. Yep, another dress. And, Payne tells her she loves it, but she didn't have to do this for her. And, she's already done so much, but Brooke waves it off. And then she asks how things are with Lucas, and Payne, says, what do you mean? And she, Brooke says that she's the one who asked her to be honest with her about why she's staying there. So she has to be the same with her. And Lucas seems really happy right now.
Well, and then she said, and we like Lindsay. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. And then she said, Brooke's like, Brooke's like, well, Brooke's like, it's not high school anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't act like this.
Yeah. And Payne says it's not about Lucas. And Brooke says good because he, the cute bartender's been checking her out. And Payne looks at him and, she likes him. And then Mouth is alone drinking in another part of the store when Skills walks up saying he's been looking for him because Alice is there, but he calls her his sexy lady. And Mouth says he knows he saw her with her date. And Skills tells him to not feel bad about it because cougars go after all kinds of prey. And Mouth says, he didn't sign up to be some meaningless plaything. He's done with this. And then Skills has the audacity to ask if he minds if he calls Alice then. And then Payne is talking to the bartender when Lucas walks up and asks if she's ready to go. But she tells him that she's going to stay, so, good night. But then Lucas has to whisper in her ear that the bartender's not good enough for her.
I know, that whole, he's not good enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then, of course, she chases him outside.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, he's not good enough for me. And
Yeah.
that's where she gives it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like when she said, like, it's not, basically, like, you're not respecting Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, why would you say that?
Right.
I liked that whole thing because I'm like, exactly, Peyton, like, stand up for
Mm-hmm.
yourself when it comes to Lucas. And also, there is another woman involved that he's not thinking of.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually pretty nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And after the opening event, then Brooke takes everything in, and Victoria asks Brooke, how does it feel? And Brooke says before they opened, she could only think about the displays and the catering, all the details. And then, the crowd came in and she got to share what she does with the people she loves, and it was amazing. And then Victoria asks, how did the store do? So Brooke checks the computer, and they sold, a couple things, small items, no expensive dresses or such. And, Victoria tells Brooke, it seems like, she didn't sell one high dollar piece all night. And if she factors the expenses for the party and the pieces she gave away, she believes her store has, run the biggest opening day deficit in their company's history. At least it wasn't a complete disaster. And then she calls out to Millicent and says, whatever her name is, pick up the inventory and ship it to their Houston store. They're expecting it. So Brooke asks Victoria, like, she knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, this is where she figures it all out, that
Yep.
she's sabotaged her.
Yep.
And she never believed in her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here's the thing. She would have sold the dress if she wouldn't have given everything away.
Right.
But oh my God, but then it was so sweet when uh when Millicent was like, I like to buy this dress.
Mm-hmm.
And Victoria's just like rolling her eyes, like, oh my God. And then basically Victoria's like, this doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I liked when Brooke was like my first check, like I'm gonna frame it. And she was like, and of course it was so that she could protect Millicent because she can't afford that dress.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but it was just so sweet of her to do.
Right.
Because I mean, that's her boss.
Mm-hmm. So, Millicent's happy about her framing it because, she even says I would have bounced. But
Yeah. So I said
yeah.
that she didn't have money. You.
And then Mia is playing the piano again when Haley walks in, and that's when Mia stops, and Haley tells her that she sounds great, and how she couldn't stay away. She left and then came back. So Mia says, she just is nervous and feel like she's gonna throw up, and she asks if she's even worth it, and Haley tells her she is. She has to believe that, and they'll face it all tomorrow. And then they start working on her song. And then Haley ends up playing it herself on her piano at home later on that night. And then Nathan walks in, saying when she has a chance to put that dress on because he loved to see her in it.
This is what I mean. It's like, oh, then Jamie walks in and it's like, how, it's like she was, I don't know, just sort of like, eh.
Well, I mean, he interrupted them, but yeah. I
No,
don't know.
I think it just seemed like she was happy that there was an interruption.
Oh, I thought it seemed like she just kind of wanted to keep working on the song for a while. Like she was getting back into music as like a priority again.
And then she annoyed me when she said, I haven't seen you all day. Like, it's already bedtime. And it's like, what did you expect? You've been gone all day.
Right.
Like, that's what it annoyed me was like, Mommy dearest, Haley, you are not being a very good mother because you aren't even with them all day. Like, and then you have the nerve to say, like, I haven't seen you all day. Like, how's that his fault? It's your fault.
Right.
You decided to not be home all day for yourself. Well, that's on you.
So then she tells Nathan she has to talk to Carrie. So Nathan takes this as he should be the one to put Jamie to bed. So then Carrie asks Haley, if everything's okay. And she says, yeah, it's been going pretty great. Everything's good. And they seem like a family again.
Yeah.
And, she has to be with
that Jamie's never been happier again. Don't say that to the nanny. And yes, that, everything's going good. It's like, not good. because
Mm-hmm.
it's about to all be ruined.
Right. Yeah, so she just thanks Carrie for her help. And then we go back and forth from Mia playing to other, scenes with people. So we see Mouth go to see Alice, saying, he saw her at the close of her bro's opening and he was the guy. And she says, asks if he's jealous, and then just says her private life is her own business. But just so he knows, the guy was boring, because she's even there at work now. That's how boring she was. And Mouth, asks what she's working on. She says she's trying to find some new weekend segment reporters. And that's when he sees his demo on the desk. So,
Yeah, because he was about to confront her and basically quit or whatever, but it's like, yep, can't do that now because he might be moving up.
yeah.
And why? Because he slept with the boss.
Yeah. So she even asks, if they can go to her place or his place. And then Brooke is crying, eating ice cream when Payne walks in, and Brooke tells her the story was a failure. And
I like when she, well, Brooke first says that she sold the dress, but it was a pity purchase. But then I liked when Peyton said of all the stuff, of all Brooke's accomplishments that Victoria wasn't a part of,
mm-hmm,
and to make her feel better, but also it's true, like Victoria wasn't there for everything.
mm-hmm,
And that she's more than what she thinks.
mm-hmm.
And, just to help Brooke. And I think it did.
Yeah.
And then it was so funny because she's like, if you're a failure, what does that make me? And she goes, pretty lame.
Right.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then, she asks Payne about the bartender that she saw at the opening, but Payne says she just wasn't really feeling it. And then Lucas calls Lindsay and says he misses her.
Bull
And then,
crap.
yeah. And then Jamie is sleeping and Haley finds the picture he drew of him and
Yep. And she thinks it's
her.
her. And nope, it says me and Nanny Carrie.
Yep. So that's basically the start of it. At least Haley's realizing that. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you see this, if you're Haley and you see this, wouldn't you then put a stop to it and start, once you get home from your teaching job, wouldn't you then spend the rest of the days with your son instead of Nanny Carrie and saying like, you can go home now. I'm home.
Right.
Instead of
Mhm.
then going to the studio all day and then you come home when he goes to sleep. Like, yeah, that's really helping you.
Right.
Like, to me, that should be a big like slap in the face of, okay, I need to get my crap together and I need to be home with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of him being with the nanny all day, like, I don't know. I just wish like that would have been her turning point, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. She sees this, feels bad, like as if she's the victim, and then continues to not be home.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect is about to happen if you're not home? You're not putting on the dress for your husband. You're not putting your son to bed. You aren't home with them. What do you expect
Mm-hmm.
is going to happen?
Right.
I'm just saying, like, again, if that's hurting you so bad, the look on her face, and if that's truly hurting you, then you would change it and you would be home with him. But he's not your priority.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, what, the studio is more important than your family, kind of like back in season 2?
Right.
Like, okay, but this is what's about to happen, and you're not even, and then you're going to blame the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, I still don't know what you need a nanny for, because you should be home with your son.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Here's my thing. When you have a child, that child comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And you have money to live off of. So you don't need the money. So you don't need to go to the studio every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you want. Well, what is your wants and your needs are different as an adult.
Right.
And like parents that have to work 2-3 jobs, that's because they need to for money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they want to, because if you ask them, they would say they want to be home with their kids.
Right.
It's something they have to do. So
Mhm.
Haley is putting it as, I need to be at the studio. No, that's just a want.
Right.
Like Nathan, he does the basketball thing when after school and stuff, and then he's home. Like he's home most of the day.
Mhm.
It's not interfering with his home life
Right.
where Haley's now is.
Mhm.
So again, it's Haley is being selfish in this.
Mhm.
And again, Jamie is only 4 years old. He just went through 4 months of his father being distant, being the way he was,
Mhm.
to thinking that the family is back together only to have your mother now disappear.
Right.
Like, how is that good for him?
Mhm.
Your family is back together, you think. Then
Mhm.
be home and be a family.
All right. She's kind of being like Deb, how she was gone.
Yeah. But then for Jamie, like he just got his father back.
Mhm.
Now he's losing his mother.
Yeah.
Like that's just, to me, is just selfish. Figure out your priorities.
Mhm.
Um and here's the thing, like you can have dreams, but they shouldn't be interfering with your child.
Mhm.
And if they are, it looks like you need you need to adjust your priorities and
Right.
what really matters at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Um so that's what bothered me. So for me, the high was I liked the store opening, I
Mm.
guess. But I really liked when Millie, I'm gonna just call her Millie instead of Millicent, when she bought the dress.
Mhm.
Because it shut Victoria up for a second.
Right.
Because she got that courage to do that. And the low was Haley not being home and Lucas not putting his relationship first. Like
Mhm.
you can't be like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend, Lindsay," but then be like, "Peyton, you shouldn't date this bartender. He's not good enough for you."
Mhm.
She should be with whoever she wants to be with because you don't want to be with her.
Mhm.
Like, who are you with? And stop telling one you're going to control who she's going to be with while you're with somebody else.
Right.
Like, you can't tell her that.
Mhm.
So I didn't like that because it's like, did you forget you have a girlfriend? And then to go home and say, call her, I miss you. No, you don't.
Mhm.
You just don't like that Peyton called you out on it.
Right.
That do you think that if Peyton would not have said what she said, do you think he would have called her that night?
Probably not. No.
Exactly. That's my thought.
Yeah.
What was your high and low?
My low was Victoria kind of setting Brooke up for failure and, just making, because Brooke thought, she had this thing going for her. And I mean, yeah, she did sell give away the dresses, but still, um, Victoria put those high-end pieces in the store somehow without Brooke even realizing. But still just trying to crush, Brooke's dream and thinking that she can finally do something on her own without her mother, and Victoria just messes it up like that. And, and then also bringing Peyton down and trying to mess with Lucas as well at the opening. Just anybody that actually cares about Brooke. And then I did like Millicent trying to buy the dress, but also Peyton, telling Lucas, about how it wasn't fair to Lindsay that he's acting that way with her, when Lindsay's out of town. And then rating.
I'd rate this a 7.
Yeah, 7 too.
And then who was your best and worst?
Best was Peyton, like I said, about talking to Lucas about being unfair to Lindsay, but also just being there for Brooke and at the end, telling her, she can't, listen to Victoria and what she says because she wasn't there for any of her other accomplishments before this. And then the worst was Victoria because she was just trying to sabotage Brooke and, like I said, just bring everybody else down and trying to even fire Millicent just so Millicent won't tell Brooke what she did and everything like that. So just trying to be controlling like that. And yours?
So for me, yes, the worst was Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the best, I'm gonna go with Millicent because she because here's like she kind of broke the boundary too of like um employee employer sort of thing. And told her like she's proud of her, like, trying to encourage her too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, think about it. She's always usually quiet. So to
Mm-hmm.
stand up to Victoria like that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brooke was getting nowhere with Victoria.
Yeah.
Because Brooke couldn't really stand up for herself. So it was kind of like, seriously. So I like that she did that because, you just couldn't really see her doing that when you first meet her.
Mm-hmm.
But she did, and obviously the whole check thing comes back, later on. And I was happy that she did that because none of her friends were writing checks, fake checks.
Mm-hmm.
And she was also showing Brooke like, I can be your friend too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a friend in me. So I liked her in that. And I
Yeah.
like that we're seeing more of like who Millie is
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
And that she could actually fit in the group.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Like just more people on Brooke's side.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 5, I forgot to remember to forget.
Did I forget the episode? All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.